What's going on, my dudes? This is Mr. Gardner, and this is Math Time with Mr. G. We're just going to review what different piecewise functions there are and get you ready for your upcoming test. So some quick vocab. Absolute value function. That just means that when we solve, we have to get the absolute value all by itself, equal to a number. The number cannot be negative. And then when we solve, we have to create two equations to solve, to represent the plus and negative side of the absolute value. Axis of symmetry just means in our V, where does the V change directions when x equals what? My vertex is either the lowest point or the highest point of my V. If it is a V that opens up, my vertex is my min. If it opens down, my vertex is the max. Vertex form is when we are given a point with the vertex, the rate of change, and then we can graph from there. Quick reminders, K is our up and down, and it's what we think. H is left or right, it's opposite of what we think. A is our rate of change. Positive is opening up, negative is opening down. Piecewise functions just means graph it, go to the magic number, make your dot, erase what we don't want. The parent graph is the most basic form of a graph without moving it left or right, up or down. What is the most standard graph? So what we have to do to solve these is we have to subtract 4, divide by -3 to get the absolute value, and then we can solve from there. Now that I have my absolute value equal to the number, I see that it's a negative number, and that cannot happen. Absolute value cannot equal a negative number, so we say no solution. All right, let's try solving this one. Now that we have our absolute value equal to a positive number, we can rewrite this equation twice, once for the positive side of the absolute value and once for the negative. My insides are the same, and then my equal is what changes from positive to negative. So the two values I could put in this absolute value to equal 4 are 0 or -2. Given this equation, we can find our vertex. It is opposite of what we think because it's negative inside the absolute value and what we think on the outside. Our axis of symmetry is just the x part of our vertex, so x is equal to 2. Now let's go graph this. Start with the vertex and then give this rate. And because it's negative, it's opening down, giving me that frowny face. Piecewise functions, I'm going to graph this magic number. This is going to be an open dot because it's just less than, and I'm going to keep everything less than and erase the rest. All right, I'm going to do the same thing here, graph magic number at -1, and I'm going to see, do they fill each other in or are they starting at opposite points? All right, because they did not overlap, they don't fill each other in, they just go to a different location, but these are my piecewise. All right, if you guys have any questions, hit me up in the comment section. Other than that, be kind to each other, ask lots of questions, and think deeply.